What's good, everybody, and welcome to What's in My Bag 2020. Okay, for starters, as I've been saying on my Instagram, I want to push the digital, I guess you could say, phonography. When I was in Japan, I had no computer, so I had to do everything on my Galaxy Note 8, which is this bad boy right here. I do have a Note 5, and as you can probably see, I am recording on a Galaxy Note 10. So, oops, mom messaged me, what's up? We're going to reverse that real quick. As you can see, that's my setup right there, going hard. Now, what we're going to do is, if you have an older phone, like my Note 8 or older, one of the biggest drawbacks of these phones is basically it only has a telescoping and a regular camera. As you guys may know, your regular camera is usually going to get you the best quality. I know with the Samsungs that you have to have a certain amount of light input for the 2x zoom to work in. I don't know if the Pixel's the same, but I think the same with the iPhone. So what I did was I got this ghetto rig case right here. It was a, what is this, a Spigen thin fit? And then Japan had these little screw-in caps for wide angle lenses, etc. So you could put a macro or whatever. So what I used to do was put this in this bad boy right here, screw on one of the lenses, which is in my backpack currently. There's a wide, a macro, and then a telescope. The wide angle really helps this phone out as it does not have it. So for now, what I'm doing is I'm going to keep the phone naked because the products I have in here are basically work well with a naked phone. So one, get you a case. Check on Amazon. There is, shameless plug, what's called Moment. They make their own cases and their own lenses. But if you're on a budget, ghetto rigging something like this works. You just have to be very, very precise when you make it. Of course, if you're using phones all the time on the go, key, I think it's a 10,000 milliamp, nope, 20,000 milliamp battery backup. That'll work you very well. Oops, oh, there we go. Represent Texas. Cheryl, thank you. If you lead a good life, say your prayers, go to church. When you die, you will go to Texas. Put this over here. Now, it's my sling right here. Got this from Barnes & Noble, like, geez, 2005 or something like that. It's been a minute. Y'all know I always keep a brush on me. Got to. Wavy merch in red to match the car. All right. Second thing that's very important, sketchbook. Always get your sketchbook. If you want to jot down ideas, a nice pen or pencil, whichever you prefer. I would say lead pencil or mechanical lead holder if you have one of those. They won't break as easy with all of your gear. Microfibers. This is going to go ahead and keep everything clean. One thing very important, no matter what camera you have, you're going to want to keep a clean camera lens. They always ask what's the best camera? The best camera is always the one you have on you. Now this bad boy right here, I've had this for years. It's a Fujifilm, an old one. Geez, probably like when my niece was in high school. It's an S5200. Still pretty decent. I might dabble in it later, but since it's old tech, I don't know how far I can push it. Now, this right here is something I invested in. It's what's called the B-Script system. BEASTGRIP. I've got myself a little wraparound for the cord. One big downfall with mobile phones is not only their small sensors, the fact that they have no weight for stability. Don't get me wrong, these cameras do have built-in stability control, but when you put them on a gimbal, especially for Ronin, you're gonna have little to no weight, or when you go handheld, just to shoot and go, it's not all that great. Let me see. I'll do it on my Note 8, show you guys an example of what it can do. So here's the system right here. What you're gonna wanna do is squeeze down this bottom part right here. How to use this thing? It's been a while. Give me a second. Okay. So you pull this up, fit your phone in, and then you line it up. So once you do that, there we go. Once you got it all lined up, what you want to do is go ahead and get this whole setup where the camera's at. I'm not going to set it exactly right now. It's set for my Note 10 and not my Note 8 anymore. What it lets you do is you can go ahead and take, let's say for example, This is a 0.43 extreme wide angle. I know the default on that camera that I'm using now, that phone, is a 0.5. So I mean, you get 0.07 more on the wide. It does make a difference, but with the way these phones are evolving, it's going to be obsolete pretty soon, I feel. Still high quality, gives you a little bit of vignetting around the edges. So once you get this here, what you'll do is you'll screw that in. These are built pretty high quality, and it does add more weight to the whole setup. So if you're running and gunning and you don't have stability control on, or your phone doesn't have it, this will be able to add that. You have adapters on the bottom to hook up, even for a cold shoe mount. So you have your screw ins to where you can add a tripod to it as well. Very nice. Of course, these bad boys, you guys have always been asking about these. They're my Sennheiser's True Wireless Momentums. Great earbuds. Only downside is they're pretty much on standby all the time, like the GR Supra. I don't know why they do that, but they do. Connected great to my Note 8, to my Note 10, not so much. I don't know what's going on with them. Maybe I need an update. So once you have this wide angle lens, you can screw some filters onto it. So if you're looking for an ND filter, a polarized, all that will fit on here. So the reason why I went with this versus the Moment is just because if I ever do get a professional camera, some of this gear will be able to transition and translate forward to what I need. My Note 8 still has a headphone jack, so I still carry headphones on me. What else is in here? Filters, filters on filters. And this right here, my guys. Oh my gosh, this is the one item I thought I wasted my money on right here. This is what's called an anamorphic lens. What this does, as you can see, it's got kind of a square in there. Once that square is set, what it does, it takes your picture and puts it in that small square. What you have to do later is then de-squeeze it in some software and bring it out. That's where you get the bars up and down like this, and you get that super crispy clear wide angle. I thought about downloading Filmic Pro. I haven't done so yet. I don't know if that's a free feature. There are caveats with that versus an Android or an Apple. But now that I have a new computer, I got my whole master suite CS5 back on there. And now I have Adobe Premiere and After Effects. So if I choose to, I can use my computer to de-squeeze that footage. So stay tuned for an anamorphic demo coming up soon. Car's a bit of a mess right now, so give me some time for some things to come in, and then we'll go over that. So that's with that camera setup. Another thing I have right here is my DJI Osmo Mobile 2. Yes, the Osmo Mobile 3 is out, and it works a lot better with the wide angle, as it will not catch the arm in the picture. I think what I'm going to do is upgrade to a Ronin S and see how that works with the Beast Grit system to give me more freedom, as I cannot use both of these together. So it's either you have the extra lenses, which my Note 10 does great, don't get me wrong, but again, that wide angle is going to get in the way of this arm's going to get in the way of the wide angle. It'll be in the picture. I don't want that. So I think a DJI Osmo Mobile Ronin S or SC might do it for me. There's pros and cons. I just don't know for the size and weight of this, since it's still pretty much lightweight, what it will do. Another thing I bought recently was this, it's made from a Ronin S. It's an extension bar. So you can add this and probably another one on the bottom, or even I can screw it into this one as a tripod. So what this will do, it'll give me a little bit more ergonomics with the DJI gimbal. So I have all this extra work with it on top of that. Right now it feels kind of odd with this, how short it is and how big my hands are wrapping around everything. This will give me that extra leverage to just pan and sway it around. And that's pretty much it, guys. Let me see what else is in here. I would advise to get some braided cables. If you have USB Type-C, USB to USB Type-C, USB-C to C if you have one of the newer stuff. And that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching. One take, and I'll catch y'all later.